The childhood Sojourn event is live in Kingshot, so today I'm gonna go over everything you need to know to get max value out of this event, as well as the skin that comes from it, and really how much does it really cost to get this skin, which is of course going to be a lot. So this event is pretty much the exact same thing as the 1 year anniversary event, which also had the 1 year skin, and this is going to cost you 12,500 points to unlock the skin, which means if you're in the top 10, you get the skin for sure. If you're under that, you get only a 30 days or nothing. However, even if you're rank 100, but you have 12,500 points, this means you will get the skin anyways. So it's guaranteed if you have 12,500. To get 12,500, you're going to be spending hundreds of dollars or millions of gems. So the chances are that if you have a 12,500, you're most likely in the top 10 anyways, at least on some servers, depending on the amount of whales that you are fighting against. Now, how much is it gonna really cost you? You'll see here is the button you press and you get these points, and these are the points that give you this. So you will need 12,500 of these little clicks in order to do it. However, sometimes you'll see when I click it, I will get a bonus. So it's gonna be bonus times 2, bonus times 2. I think I get a plus times 3 sometimes. I'm not sure how many times I'm gonna have to click to get anything else than times 2. So if you look here, I think times 3 is 5%, times 2 is 20%. So it is, you know, a small amount of chance of getting more. So in reality, you don't really need 12,500, but you're gonna need close to probably like 10,000, I think, from some very quick bad maths in my head. Nonetheless, it's gonna be very expensive, but this is something to consider. Now, there is a pack, and this pack will give you a substantial amount of these tokens. You also see that there's many different ways of obtaining them, so I'm going to go over all of them, as well as what else is worth it during this event. So first, with the pack, of course, you get also a frame, which is nice, and then it's 100 for $5 or $7 Canadian. Now, if I purchase this one, so great, I got 5. Now the next one is $10 and you get 160. So the ratio at which you're getting them goes down in the amount that you spend. So that means that for $5 I got 100, for 10 I'm getting 160, so you know, a lot less than double. So I'll buy this one just to see as well. So 160, also get this little frame, whatever, and then 220 for 20 bucks, which is, you know, the ratio is really worse. Now the rest of the rewards here are still very good, like it's a very high value packs, and if you're a spender in general, these packs are excessively good. Like when we're talking about event packs, this is the best time to ever really spend on these packs, or in general, you're going to get more value out of the game from these because you're getting so much value from the pack itself, having true gold and whatever, but you're also getting the value of trading it in, where you get some rewards here, and you get the value from the event in general, as well as the ranking value here. So it adds up to more value than just spending in the regular store. So it's still really high value, but it's still a very, very expensive skin. So in the end, I think it's the same as all other events. This is a very much whale only type of thing. You are going to have to spend hundreds of dollars to get this, and if not, you're not going to get 12,500 very easily, but you are going to get some for free throughout this event. So I'll go over everything you're going to get. The first other event of this is going to be Childhood King. Childhood King is kind of like a Strongest Governor or a KVK. Every day has different rewards, and the one thing that's really interesting is some of these days have rewards that we don't usually get. So for example, using epic recruitment or advanced recruitment gives a lot of points. You only usually get stuff from this from the Call of the Sovereign, which is luckily also going on right now. So you will see that in the Call of Sovereign, you are going to get something from purchasing, but also from recruitment 30 times, and this resets every day. So you're going to need to spend 90 keys, so it's good to have those keys saved up. This is a very worth it event if you are able to do it, and you are going to want to do this every day, as well as the other one, which I think I have done already. So advanced recruitment 10 times, so 30 silver keys and 90 gold keys will be good here. So it is worth doing, so obviously I will do it to get the 30 a day. However, you can see I have 500 of these, so I could technically go into this event and get a ton of points from spending these. However, as of now, my rewards only include Jable, which I have maxed, and within a few weeks when G4 heroes release on my server, well, all the generation 2 heroes will then be part of the rewards. So I really am not going to be spending this because it's really not worth it, and I'll show you why. But really, you are going to want to wait for your drop rates to give something better that you don't have. If you get G2 heroes at G4, you also get G3 heroes at G5. So it really is not worth it, in my opinion, to be spending all your keys for this. And the reason is that this event is not that good. Like, you want to get the minimum value here. That is the #1 priority. It's not hard to do. You only need to open a few keys and do a few of the things here, which it's really generous in terms of points. Even upgrading Epic Shard, Mystic Heroes, whatever, like you can get very easily the points that you need. And you can see here that you're getting, you know, a good 170, I think, of these like little tokens, which is for the skin. So it's really, really valuable, and it's a lot of free rewards. You really don't need to spend much. However, when you look at the total rewards here, so the stage rewards daily, if you're #1, 14,000. This is like, you know, 24 hours of speed up. It's really not bad. Like, it's not like it's bad rewards, but like this is worth a few dollars. If you're free to play, it's good, but if you're free to play, you're not getting rank 1 unless you're blowing through so much saved up that you're wasting for KVK. And as soon as you get like rank 410, like this is like a $5 pack, if even. Like, it's really low value. You can get it every day, but the amount of value you get here, it's really not that high. Like, it's really not that worth it. It's decent reward, but you need to really spend a lot. And if you're at lower ranks, like I'm at 69 right now, this is really trash reward. Like, it's really not worth it. And then the total ranking for the whole event, it's really good, 140k. But again, unless you're well, you're not getting rank 1. So let's say rank 10 to 50 is more realistic for spending. That's like, again, $10 to $20 worth of packs maximum. You're going to be spending hundreds of speed ups and hundreds of keys and whatever for $5 pack, $10 pack. Like, it's really just not worth it at all, in my opinion. So for this event, personally, I would really just do the bare minimum. Now, I went a little bit over. Sometimes it will happen. There's a lot of other events going on right now, including, for me, the Alliance Brawl. So, of course, things will happen, but bare minimum. Like, every single day, just do the bare minimum. Like, the exception could be the Rally Hunt, but, like, it's good to spend your stuff there, but it's also better to do it in Alliance Brawl. So I won't really be wasting anything in this event other than what I need to get the bare minimum amount of points to get these free bricks. Getting these free bricks every day is really good, and I calculated about 170, I think, is what you get here. So out of 7 days, I don't know if it's going to be the same amount every single day, but let's estimate it's close by. So most likely you'll get 1,000 to 1,200 of these bricks from 7 days if they're in the same range. Let's say 1,000, because the game doesn't usually like to be so generous with us. So this is one place where you're going to get 1,000 maybe out of the 12,500 that you need. So at least it's a good chunk. And again, because of the ×2 and stuff, let's estimate it's about 10%. So if you need like about 10,000, so not bad. Like, it's worth doing the minimum every day 100%, but nothing more than that, in my opinion. Now, Anthem of Youth is one of those other events where you get a lot of stuff for free. I mean, everything here you can get from just playing the game. Except this one, you need to purchase a pack. So if you're free to play, you're not going to get the value out of here, but you are still going to get a little bit. But the entire row here, I think it's all 10, and these are all 30. So it's equivalent to about 240. Now, if you're not a spender, you're going to get less than half of that because you're missing the big one. If you're a spender buying like a $1, $3 pack, whatever, it's extremely worth it. Getting any pack, like the value you're going to get out of here is really, really high. But if you're absolutely free to play, this event is really, really like a tease for you. Like, it's really bad for you because it's so close to getting a lot of good rewards, and then you don't get this last row, so you miss, you know, all of this, and all of this. So it's a really tough event for that. However, again, if you are spending very little amount of money or a decent amount of money, this is another 240 extra ones of these. So plus the 1,000 that you got here, it does start to add up to a little bit more. Now, the calendar, this is another one of these events that you just get passively, and this one is more friendly to free to play because everything that you can do here is usually doable. You're gonna get these candies here, which, you know, you should be able to get to 80 pretty easily. You'll see that there's 100 here, and then there's 60 here, and then there's 40 here, so that's another 200. And then on day 1, I have daily login here, so you have 10 and 10. Then Watchtower here, you have another 10. Defeat Beast here, you have another 10. These are all things you're gonna do automatically. Every single day is going to have something like this. So let's say 200 here, and then 40 on day 1. Maybe it's going to be 40 per day, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little more. So let's say another 200 maybe-ish from this event. So we're almost at about 1,500 of these tokens now from just playing this event. There's really nothing you have to do here except make sure you've done them. But like, you should be defeating beasts through a mission. Watchtower, you should be doing as well. Daily login, well, you should be logging in if you want to do this event. And then every other day is going to be like, use some speed ups, troop research, whatever. Just do it. Like, don't spend too much on it, but just do the bare minimum to get what you need here. Now, top up benefits is, again, very much pay to win, but there is nothing good here. All the rewards are extremely low value, except you get the marching skin. Now, the marching skin is great. It looks cool. It's purely spender show off, but you're going to need to top up worth, I think, like 50 to 60 bucks to get this. So if you're a spender, you're going to just get it anyways. But if you're not a spender, I mean, you're not missing out on any rewards here. There is no tokens for the event. Now, childhood message, that's a very weird one. Like, it's $1. So again, if you're a very low spender, well, this dollar here will unlock this pack for you. So it's really worth doing for sure, because you're getting a pack. But if you're a free to play, again, it's wasted, but it is worth it. Like, you're getting 10 tokens here and 50 tokens here, so another 60. It's very, very, very low value, but it's also very low cost, so it's not bad. Now, last but not least, we have childhood treasures, and this is where the big ripoff happens. Now, you will see that through gathering and through defeating beast, you're going to get these tokens. So this is where you get the majority of your bricks. So we talked about how you got about 1,500 from doing everything in this event. So 1,500 of the tokens that you need out of the about 10,000. Now, you're going to get another 1,000 here from just gathering and beasts. So you don't have to do anything other than gather and kill beasts, which you're going to do every day anyways. But you have 7 days to do it. Make sure that by day 7, there is nothing left for you to do here. But usually, just playing the game normally, you don't need to spend anything. You will get it. Now, the big scam happens here with the gems and speed ups. So I did some very basic calculation. And for speed ups, it's about 2 hours for you to get one of these tokens. So we're at 3, and let's say I'm gonna speed up 4 hours. There we go. Then we can look again, and we are now at 5. So every 2 hours seems to be giving you 1 speed up. So that means that to get 1,000 token, you need to spend 83 days of speed up, if my math is correct. So I spent about 83 days of speed up in KVK from saving, and I've spent money in this game. Now, a massive whale will be able to have hundreds and thousands of days of speed up. Okay, sure. Even though you're pushing hundreds or thousands of days of speed up outside of KVK for absolutely no reason. I don't know what you're really doing. Maybe you want to go for TG. Maybe you're going to go for a lot of troops, but you're wasting so much value for your alliance for KVK. Really, really not worth it. It is one way of getting the 10,000 points. Of course, most whales will just spend the pack and get just the top up, like whatever left from this, but it is how it is. Now for the gems, it's about 1,000 gems. So as you can see, I had 6 here. So I go here and I spend 2,000. I'm at 8. I spent everything here. Every time I spend 1,000, I get about 1 of these. So it might be a little bit less than 1,000. Maybe it's 850. Maybe it's 900. I'm not exactly sure. But for me, 1,000 seems to do it every time. Let's say I do 2,000 again and I'm at 10. So every time I spend 1,000, I get 1. So it is seeming to be that. That means that, again, to get 1,000 of these tokens, you're going to need to spend 1,000 gems 1,000 times. So that's 1,000,000 gems. So if you are going to get the 10,000, that's 10 million gems. Now, remove the 1,500 that I calculated here and remove the 1,000 here. And the fact that you don't really need 12,500, but you need about 10,000-ish. Let's say that you will need to spend about 8 million gems. It seems to be around 7.5 to 8 million gems here to get what you need for the skin. So again, whales will most likely just spend the pack and then top up like by spending 1,000,000 gem and get the skin. No problem there. However, it just shows how ridiculously not accessible this is at all for anyone who is not a huge spender. Even a spender like myself, I think it would need to drop over $500 to about $700 in this event to get this skin. So the skin is excessively cool in my opinion. I really like this skin and I do think it's really cool. And I wouldn't say that I'm not going to try to get it in some way, but it is going to require many hundreds of dollars of spending. And I'm just not sure how worth it is just for the look. Now, many people will get it for sure. As you can see, they're already at 3,000 something from most likely maxing the pack already. It is insane. Like, it's really expensive. Like, if you're free to play, just close your eyes, collect whatever free reward there is, and go cry in a corner afterwards. It's not worth thinking about it too much. Like, it's just pretty damn crazy. Now, outside of that, if you're free to play or low spender, this is still a very high value event from getting all the daily stuff and getting still some free lines here. And if you spend $1 and get this whole page, I mean, it's a lot of true gold, a lot of shards, it's skin tokens, it's worth it. And then these guys, you know, it's still not bad. Like if you're spending it, like here, the value is pretty good too. Like there's a lot of value in these packs, but again, that's pretty expensive. But the value here is astronomical because all of these are worth like 10,000 gems and stuff. So it is really high value if you're a low spender, a medium spender. If you're free to play, there is still decent value. It's just not as much. But, you know, you don't lose anything. Everything here, you still get tons of free stuff. And you get the daily stuff here, which is still very good. So it is one of these kind of events that's just, in my opinion, a bit of a nothing burger because there's really nothing interesting happening other than you're just spending like crazy. But you do get a lot of free stuff. And if you're a low or medium spender, you get tons of value for not that much money compared to many of the other packs in the game. One more thing too about the Childhood King is that, again, I would really not do anything but the bare minimum for this event. But you will see that there is also some days that give you different things for different objectives. Again, the troop training, all that stuff, it's always the same stuff. However, here on this day, you get to use gems. So if you're going to be spending millions of gems on getting the tokens on the last page here, well, might as well do it on day 5 because you're going to get points for it. And then you're going to get the daily rewards at least, you know? So even if you're well, whatever, just try and do it smartly. If you're going to be wasting all of that, no one should be spending this much. Like even looking at the ranking now, of course, like TBPO is a huge spender. She can afford it. But these guys are basically just wasting their speed ups and stuff. Like they're basically fighting against your own kingdom. Like this is what we call players that are selfish and that do not support the kingdom in any way, because everything you're spending here is just basically wasted for very, very low tier reward. Save this stuff for KVK. It's not worth it. Or arrange yourself in a kingdom that you make sure that nobody pushes, and the people who do push don't have to push a lot of points to win the event. Anyways, this is my opinion. It's such a waste. Like, why would you spend all of this for like 14,000 gems? Like, you're gonna be like, this guy spent 6 million here. He probably spent $100 worth of resource, and he's gonna get a $10 pack. Like, good job. You know what I mean? Like, it's not worth it. You don't get anything from it. The minimum rewards is all you need. So anyways, that's about it for this one. Now, the last thing I want to talk about regarding this event is that there is one more event that we haven't seen yet. It's called Lost Loot, and it will take place basically 24 hours from the release of this event, so tomorrow on reset. And this Lost Loot, we don't exactly know what it is, so there might be a little bit more of the tokens in there for free. However, it seems to be more focused on giving you rewards for your island. So again, it's going to be part of this event. We will see it come up here, and it's going to be one of the pages, I think. And it is going to give, again, more rewards. It's a daily thing you have to do for digging up, and it only lasts for like 3 days. I don't think it's going to give you thousands of these tokens. It might give you like maybe 100 or something, maybe 200 if you're lucky, but it's really not going to be the insane event that is going to make the difference. But just keep in mind that there is another little event coming in this to add even more rewards to it. So that's about it for this event and this video. The last thing I want to mention is, if you are going to be spending, make sure that you're using the Kingdom Star. So Kingdom Stars are the official resource you can buy from the official store from Kingshot. And if you look in the description below, there's a link, which is my creator link that the devs gave me. It will just redirect you to the actual store. If you look at the address bar at the top on your screen after clicking my link, you will see that it's an actual centurygames.com website. And this is a store that you get to buy outside of Apple, outside of Google, so you don't pay taxes. And the devs get also more of your money instead of giving it to Google or Apple. But it is a win-win for you because you really save on a lot of taxes and stuff, and you can pay using PayPal and credit cards and whatever. But also, if you use my creator link, you do support my channel a little bit. And also, you get a very decent discount of 5%. So whatever you spend here, you get 5% extra given to you. So if you spend $700, well, this is 500 US, you're going to get 2,500 of these tokens for free. So $25 for free. I mean, it's a very small amount, but the fact that you save the taxes from the in-game store plus get 5%, it adds up to 10 to 15% more value by using this store. And then if you use my link, well, you just support my channel on top of it. However, in general, I would say if you're going to be spending on this game, this is where you're going to be wanting to spend. And then you simply go in game, and then it just gives you the stars, and then you just buy the pack and you don't have to do anything. So it just makes it a lot easier to purchase without making a transaction every single time. So just something to keep in mind. Now, this is about it for this event. If you have any other tips for other players in this event, please make sure to mention them in the comments below for everybody to see. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.